Whenever someone is outed for bad behavior, because this is the internet, even if they leave, they'll always come back, either on the same or new account. Though the severity of the thing can delay a return, as well as the amount of people looking to support the creator when they come back. Be it for something as bad as a cis male catfishing a trans lesbian minor for nudes, or something less extreme as not properly crediting or paying those who work for you. No matter the cause, the return is eventual. Though in saying that, whether or not the person in question learned anything is up to how they handle the return. 3 years ago, I made a video over TheFearRaiser, citing low pay and lack of crediting as the main issues of his channel's practices. Present day, with his new channel, have things changed, or is he the same person that I talked about all those years ago? Hello, I'm Daftpina.
And I'm jaubrey.
And this is PapaFearGaming, Unpaid Exposure. You know, reading that title card makes it seem like he didn't change. PapaFearGaming, also known as Jordan Antle, is a 27-year-old from Newfoundland, Canada. His previous channel, TheFearRaiser, started in 2010 and featured various forms of content. Everything from Call of Duty Let's Plays, Minecraft animation videos, storytime animations, and even roleplay videos. And during this period between 2015 and 2018, which was the time of my video, at least, he had hired artists to draw for him. In that time, I found about 40 plus videos where people were incorrectly credited, be it with an incorrect link or just not at all. And so I'd contacted several artists to talk about what happened regarding payment and just crediting for the videos. On average, the artist would get between 100 to 180 euros per video, though one artist noted that they were paid a lot less. Part of the video talked about how to negotiate proper wages, and to make sure you are mentioned in the video or description credits. Another issue at the time was that his channel was too much of everything, meaning though he had 1 million subscribers, his audience was split because of the change in content ever so frequently. And since my video released, I actually had a chance to speak with Jordan himself, and I gave advice for a new channel for him to try and pursue. One such example was Reddit readings, as at the time he didn't have the money to pay artists, noting that he had to move back in with his parents. But to bring up the Minecraft animation videos, he himself made those, so I encouraged him to get back in the groove and hey, there might be something there. I also opted for him to create a new channel, as though he had a subscriber base on TheFearRaiser, it was built upon dead subs. So to start fresh with content he likes, he could always use the previous one to promote the new videos. Last we chatted was in 2019, when a mutual Angel X Mikey passed away. Angel was a former artist for Jordan, who had nothing but nice things to say. And in finding this out, I contacted Jordan to make sure he can say his final goodbyes to someone that helped on his channel a lot. And around this time, Jordan started his new channel, PapaFearGaming, which he has seen very much success with. Personally, I don't care for that type of content, as it's basically just him talking to cartoon characters like those 4 AM videos.
Hello? Is anybody here? Huh? Mickey Mouse? Is that you?
We are going to watch the Kissy Missy movie at 3 AM!
But in fair chat, I guess. With him seemingly doing well enough, I thought that was the end of his saga. To have changed for the better and become successful once again on the YouTube platform. That was until I got an email about him in November 2021 about how he runs his business. And on the topic of business, today's video was sponsored by Atlas VPN with links in the description below. Not only is this a VPN, but also blocks malicious links, ads and trackers while notifying you if someone's trying to steal your data. When shopping online, Atlas allows you to get the best deals, including online subscriptions, airlines, hotels, and more. With a single subscription to the service, you can not only protect unlimited devices, but also enjoy blazing fast speeds when using it. But how does this all work? Well, a VPN is a virtual private network that makes all your internet traffic travel through a safe and securely encrypted tunnel. And in doing so, it protects you from spying, public Wi-Fi dangers, and even hides your IP address, as well as your online activities. Not only can you be safe while using this VPN, but a lot of streaming services actually have geo-restricted content due to licensing rights. While many exclusive shows may not be available in your location, Atlas VPN can bypass those restrictions so you can access your favorite content from across the world, such as how I like to watch Rick and Morty on Netflix. And right now, Atlas VPN is running a huge discount. That means you can get a 3-year subscription for only $139 USD a month with a 30-day money-back guarantee. But hurry, as time is running out, so get your deal today by clicking the link in the description below. But now comes the time we talk about the shadier aspects of his new channel. And also me talking about my cat, Spare Marvel, for a second. Alright, thank you for that. Second. November 24th, 2021, RC the Skull Dog contacted me about Jordan, stating that they're a former actor for his videos. And apparently they left due to drama that relates to my 3-year-old video about him, with them asking me to look more into Jordan once again. A Twitter link was attached featuring the user SpaceNate441. Within it, Space details that he was also a previous actor for Jordan, saying that 5 months prior he was kicked from the actor group. And what follows is a very strange interaction between Jordan and a blank individual regarding crediting a piece of media. Within the video, Flippy is too powerful, Jordan shows himself playing a Friday Night Funkin' mod with a keyboard cam showing that he is indeed definitely for sure playing the game.
Oh my god, how does anyone do this?
Oh, you don't know what Friday Night Funkin' is? Well, hold on a second. Let me tell you. Friday Night Funkin' is a free rhythm-based game from Newgrounds. Anyone can download it and make their own mods for it. It's got a very active and fun modding community, with artists putting their own unique spin on each of their works. Though despite the game being free and easily accessible, not counting the Kickstarter game that's gonna be a Steam one, I meant like the Newgrounds one that we're currently talking about. Based on these DMs, it doesn't seem to be Jordan's footage. Blank mentions that the footage shown have the same frame rate, score, and misses as Gegcoin's video. Jordan retaliates that
the mod is available for everyone, and I can understand similarities in gameplay.
Citing,
this is toxic, and I want nothing to do with stuff like this.
Blank continues to say that the videos put side to side are the same, and it's impossible to get the exact same score.
Oh my god, okay, this is hard. We're doing good so far.
Jordan says,
why do you always do this? I seriously don't understand why you throw so many anxious concerns my way. Listen, this is stressing me out. As long as you aren't associating with this person and talking behind my back, then we're fine. Otherwise, this might be a problem. Or are you? I'd recommend either staying away from these people or just dropping this. It's starting to sound like you're associating with toxic people, and I can't associate with you if you are.
Alright, to break down that weird as interaction, Jordan used someone else's gameplay pretending to play it for a video.
I got this, guys, I got this, believe in me! Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh, that was nuts!
Now, of course, using gameplay footage to talk about it or reference is fine, especially if you credit on screen, like at username or whatever. Though in this case, he's acting that the footage on screen is like his? Like, it's clearly not, because he lifts his fingers from the keyboard a lot. The user says that the footage is the same, with proof, and Jordan is attempting to deflect entirely? Really? Not sure why. First by stating that it doesn't matter, as the game has a finite way of being unique, while attempting to gaslight the individual by claiming the videos are not the same. While it may be true that the footage may not be perfectly unique, why would you lie about it in the first place? Just play it for yourself. Lastly, he attempts to bully the user by saying he's being toxic for ever bringing this up. Looking at this whole interaction means that Jordan was so mean and lazy that instead of playing the game for himself, he'd rather take someone else's footage to pretend to play it and then chastise his friends for ever bringing the fact up? Huh? Though it is funny to note that after all that, he credited the video. Well, not the video, but the channel in which the video came from. Clearly the correct option. Jordan would even be seen on Twitter arguing with people about this, citing to a now deleted conversation that he did indeed credit Gegcoin, believing that is the main issue, despite it being more so the fact he faked himself playing it and lied to those who brought it up, seemingly only crediting it after called out. He was even seen in his own comments saying that he filmed the parts himself. But we'll hold off, as we'll get into more of his Twitter ramblings later in the video. But of course, this would happen again, not with gameplay footage, but rather a mod itself. The creator of the Taki Mod did a live stream watching Jordan's gameplay of his creation. When looking in the description, he chastises him for not linking his work.
Where the credit to the original mod creators though?
For most mod creators, the only way you can get recognition is if their games are not only played on YouTube, but a link is provided or specifically shown / mentioned within the video in order for people to easily find the creation. After this live stream occurred, Jordan would later credit the mod as if nothing happened. Also, look in the description, he didn't even play the game. He credits Community Game, the guy who actually played the mod. That's like extremely lazy. This actually happens quite frequently, as well as some modders are lucky that Jordan remembers the credit. Sometimes, like in his recent video, Starecrown vs. Boyfriend in Friday Night Funkin' VR chat FNAF mods, I suppose no one reminded him. With Jordan being on YouTube for over 11 years, I'd hope he'd be more keen on making sure the mods he used are credited. You can make a standard description in Google Docs that you copy and paste, while making sure that every blank form is filled depending on the video. On top of that, getting someone to remind you to check the description with your friend group can also help to make sure everything is fine. It's okay to ask for help. Getting in contact with former and current actors for Jordan, it seems as if credits wasn't the only issue within the group. You see, Jordan's videos consist of the same recurring people acting as characters for his skit and lore story videos. Lore story. So the average person would assume that they're a part of his channel, right? Actually, it's a lot more complicated than that, for some reason. Two actors I spoke with were there very early on the channel's lifespan, when Jordan was around 10 to 20k subscribers. Lucario joined in February 2021, while THYPER joined as early as December of 2020. They had met Jordan while in a VR chat room, doing some Hasbin Hotel stuff. Jordan had been looking for actors in VR chat worlds and just scooped them up and put them in videos. For some of the more notable characters, Lucario played Blitzo, Skid, Zardy, Agodi, and Legoshi, while THYPER played Daddy Dearest and Still Lost respectively. Speaking with them as the channel went along, they slowly stopped creating the Hell of a Boss Hasbin Hotel content and switched over more to Friday Night Funkin'. The actors lamented that they would just prefer to do more Hell of a Boss content. Between the actors, they say an average video might take between 30 minutes to 4 hours depending, which is a lot of work as VR chat often involves a lot of standing and moving around your arms. VR chat is a game where you can go anywhere and be anyone. A common controller used, the Oculus, or MetaQuest 2, that can allow the user to have near full body movement, meaning that these recording sessions had a lot of the actors in a heated visor, requiring them to be fully active within the recordings. I even got a chance to look at the frequency of these recordings, and it's surprisingly often. Again, you might ask if they're not part of his channel, then what are they? Why would anyone record so often and be so strict within this group setting? Blaze the Pone, an actor who played Evil Boyfriend in Pum for the Friday Night Funkin' series, not the game, but his videos. Jordan's videos, I mean. Notes that Jordan always referred to it as a collab, which is an odd term for the situation. Collabs on YouTube happen all the time between channels, and it's mutually beneficial for those involved. Two channels with similar or near similar audiences forming together to make content, often very sparse and in between their regular non-guest content. Though the people that Jordan collabs with have done many videos for him, claiming they're doing it for exposure. From those I spoke with, this could range between 30 videos to even 50 with multiple characters between. What this feels like, as described, is that Jordan was able to find people that were willing to not get paid and settle on the promise of fame. And I must remind you that exposure and fame are not a guarantee with these collabs. This is also to note that a lot of the actors that works for him are minors. With Jordan meeting Koblerone at 13, currently 14, playing Boyfriend, leading many of his videos.
I have, the last time I watched Steven Universe was like 6 years ago.
Aren't you, bro? Isn't that like half your life?
I'm 14.
As well as the former RC the Skull Dog, who was 15, when playing Mommy Dearest from Friday Night Funkin'.
What?
Oh yeah, my parents came along.
Are you serious? Your parents are here?
They kind of forced me to take them with me, so
What?
And for those I spoke with, Lucario and THYPER are 17 and 23 respectively. So on top of these long recording sessions, a lot of the people he encourages to work long hours are minors.
Is this guy a predator?
No, he's not a predator.
Are you sure?
He's not.
Because I can help.
And you're starting to think, with a lot of time put into his channel, was payment ever brought up with the actors? How can one go on for so long without getting paid? Well, as it turns out, Lucario and THYPER actually spoke with Jordan on the matter in December 2021, and we're about to see how that turned out for them. Also, as an aside, if you're liking the video so far, make sure to like and subscribe and comment below what you think thus far. Thank you.
With some of the actors joining early onto the project, Lucario and THYPER claimed they had asked Jordan about payment. However, I must note this was all done within calls, so the extent or specific wording of said payment cannot be recalled or proven. But Jordan has specifically clarified within a December 2021 livestream that of course none of the actors get paid.
Do you pay them? Well, of course not. There is no paying going on when we record with people, because the people we record with are YouTubers. everything we do on this channel is collaboration with other YouTubers, and that's what we do. We record together.
It's starting to sound like a recipe for disaster. As to me, it feels as if we've had a bunch of miscommunication, whether intentional or not. Jordan had gotten wind that someone was talking to Daft about a potential video containing Lucario and THYPER with an oddly worded message. December 4th, 2021, wanting to check in, he says,
I'm doing a checklist on who still wants to be a part of the group for recordings. Are you still interested? Just let me know within the next 72 hours if you're still down.
The same message was copied and pasted between the two, and seeing this now feels more formal rather than two seemingly longtime friends interacting. Shortly after these messages were sent, Lucario and THYPER had called Jordan privately to talk about how they felt. They brought up certain concerns such as payment and not feeling up to film. He called them backstabbers as they mentioned talking to Daft, and abruptly left the call to make a server announcement.
At everyone. Oh no, this is getting real. Just got word a drama YouTuber has been reaching out to some of you to gather information, targeting me for the second time. I'd really appreciate if everyone here didn't give this guy any information, as he's going to construct it against me.
If you ask me, it's not a good look to tell a bunch of unpaid minors in your VR roleplay server that a YouTuber wants to talk to him. This could lead to a lot of weird results. Lucario and THYPER were kicked from the server, with them having their last conversations with him respectively. Lucario says that
it's very telling on you of removing us over disagreements that could have been handled.
Jordan responds with,
you've already talked to me towards someone who's making a drama video on me. Your actions are telling. Wang didn't do it. Why couldn't you?
Aside from the fact he is happy that someone he knows keeps quiet, though Daft did later talk to him, skipping to THYPER's conversation, we see a different story. THYPER says that he didn't want to end their friendship. Jordan says,
I can't give you a genuine response until I see the damage that's done. Didn't think you were capable of doing this. Now I have to defend myself and I don't even know what I'm up against. I wanted us to be friends, man. Friends don't do this. Something tells me Roy, Lucario, did get to you. Since you obviously regret doing this and he doesn't seem to care at all. I'm gonna wait and see what damage is done before I can make a decision about us moving forward. What is this, a fucking breakup?
What the fuck was that conversation? Why is he holding his friendship with THYPER on a line, saying stuff like,
it's obvious the other guy was manipulating you, because surely you would never do that. I thought we were friends.
Jordan's reaction to cutting all ties and kicking them was extremely brash and childish, especially knowing what they actually told Daft. When messaging Lucario and THYPER, they had no ill will towards Jordan. All that happened was they felt as if they couldn't talk to him about things, thus leaving their concerns improperly addressed. This is remembering that these two were some of the longest standing members on his channel that Jordan threw away in a heartbeat. All of the 50 plus videos they created together had faded away in an instant the moment he felt as if his way of running the channel could be taken away. December 5th, Blaze and Water were removed from the server with an announcement.
They haven't really been a part of this group for a while, and Blaze has already shown his true colors to me. Seems like a lot of drama is stirring up because of bad actors we've had in this group. As I've stated, drama has no place here. Neither does backstabbing. I'll continue to update as I find more info on things.
Speaking with Blaze on the matter, they had shared DMs with Daft regarding him and Jordan about being kicked, further stating that
Lucario and THYPER talk shit behind my back.
And mentioning Blaze and Water not wanting to be in the group, claiming that Blaze is not actively asking if they want to rejoin. Blaze ends the conversation by asking for payment, stating that they had been in 30 videos and mentioned that they had been promised payment when he got sponsors and popularity. Jordan snaps, responding with,
payment? Lol. Dude, there never was a conversation or promise about payment. We've only ever collaborate as YouTuber. The fact you're just saying this out of nowhere is evidence you're attempting to slander my name. I'd like to remind you that over half the Discord has my back. This is where we cut ties. You're just as toxic as the rest of them. And before I go, I'd like to remind you how every time we recorded together, I suggested you would film, which you didn't. Not my fault you didn't care about your channel. You've been bipolar from the start. You've lost your credibility. Love how he tries to leverage against this guy, saying that he's got half the Discord on his side like he's got a fucking mafia of 4th graders.
There's a lot to unpack here that explains a lot of Jordan's personality, as well as the amount of miscommunication within this actor group. Starting on the latter, Blaze is clinically bipolar, so bringing up his mental health as a way to discredit credit him is a dick move. To move on, we have Jordan suggesting that he should have recorded behind the scenes for his channel. This is further shown within a meeting post stating that everyone is allowed to record funny moments or bloopers. Reading that just feels like it'd be more of a second channel for Jordan, and stating that it's not his fault and he doesn't care about his channel is a bit ludicrous. With how often Jordan asks these actors to record, often day after day, I do wonder when they'd have the time or even energy to produce for their own channels, especially since they have lives of their own. Lastly, on the topic of payment, since we don't have confirmation whether or not they've talked about getting paid, then now is a good time to do so with this video. Whether his intention or not, Jordan had created the most business-like server without wanting or understanding that it's now a business. Within his server, he was complaining about Blaze's reaction to the other actors.
Literally told me to pay him for being in 30 videos. I was like, dude, when was money ever mentioned? We've been collaborating as YouTubers since the start and you just chose to never record? I've got nothing to hide. I've tried to be as professional as possible.
As I reiterated before, this just simply isn't a collaboration, and calling it that is a Weasley way to get out of payment. They're essentially guests on his channel that, as we saw with Lucario and THYPER, no matter how long or how many videos you've done for him, you are replaceable. The exposure, views, and subs don't even trickle down to the highest of stars, as the content they create is either not of interest to Jordan's audience, or the way in which they're promoted doesn't do them justice, thus leading to very low subscribers for his actors. Potentially, Jordan can hit back with the,
"We never talked about payment, and hey, whoa, it's fine, they don't mind not being paid."
As we have talked about before, Jordan was fortunate enough to find people so willing to do this for free. Such an example is of Wang Li Chi, whom when talking about money, says he doesn't mind not getting paid. Though on the topic of whether or not they talked about it, Wang mentions they never had that conversation. It's completely fine that Wang doesn't want to get paid, though because the conversation was never had, that could always be taken a different way later down the line. For example, Wang could change his mind later and claim that he always wanted to get paid, thus leading to uncomfortable situations when it's brought up. So even if offered to work for free, I still opt Jordan to hire people, as it's an open and shut case with no mystery. While saying that, Jordan could be using this lack of communication as an example that he doesn't have to pay. However, considering how he responded to Blaze, it seems he's created an environment that asking for pay will get you kicked out and blacklisted. We will go forward in the next section of why he should hire people instead of relying on non-paid actors. However, attempting to talk with Jordan about this personally, Daft asked him to call to get his side of the story. However, he declined. So with the next section, Daft will tell you what all he would have told him regarding the sticky situation he's put himself in.
To understand what happened, we had to break down the concept of friendship, business, collaboration, team, and when to pay. The reactions and language used privately in the server is an odd mix of all these things, so let's try and break it down. Friendship is as simple as two people hanging out, having fun. Business is when money is involved and to want to continue to have a profit. Collaboration is when two individuals love each other very much, they want to work on each other's videos. Teamwork is when a group of people work together to produce a thing. And lastly, when to pay is understanding that you have to pay these people. A big issue of Jordan is how he structured his channel, as well as him not being able to evolve his work ethic when money started getting involved. For example, when Lucario and THYPER first joined nearly a year ago, the channel was not receiving a profit. So to them, it just seemed like a bunch of friends hanging out for a hobby. Though here's where things start to get complicated, as Jordan calls these collabs. Despite that not being the case, as it's more considered teamwork for business. For this video, jaubrey is a friend who's joined my channel for a singular video, and perhaps more in the future? Maybe? We are two individuals joining forces to make a video. But in saying that, my channel can't exist without him, just as he can exist without my channel. For Lucario and THYPER, they play characters that appear on Jordan's channel. And they show up so frequently that one can assume they're part of the channel, especially when they create over 50 videos with him. Jordan's channel relies on these actors to be in it, or else he would be all alone. But in saying that, he insists that these are actors. Okay, so these are actors that work in your videos.
Yes.
And some of these people have acted in over 50 videos.
Yeah, and they were fun.
So one can assume they're part of their channel.
That makes sense to me.
then pay them.
But they're collabs.
In March 2021, Jordan contacted THYPER thanking him for working with him, specifically saying,
Collabing with you and others have been a blast. It's crazy to think where it's taken us.
the language used is keeping an arm's length about the involvement, which is odd to say the least. Calling these collaborations is misleading, especially if you look in his server. This is a place for the actors where schedules can be had, meetings are to be attended to, and you are chastised when you aren't in videos, often getting an ultimatum, pointing back to how Jordan messaged THYPER and Lucario, giving them 72 hours whether or not they still want to be part of the server. For Jordan to call them collaborations, why would he kick these two people out on the pretense that they stop appearing in videos when he once called them friends? When friends are unreliable or unwilling to be in projects, you just simply stop asking them. Not that you just stop talking to them because they spoke with someone on the outside. As kicking them out of this actor's server when they're not doing actor stuff kind of feels like a business thing, you know what I mean? Business? Workers only? Especially if you have been closed for over a year, and even talked with one of them regarding their OC. August of 2021, Lucario had talked to Jordan about possibly allowing him to use his personal avatar for videos, in which Jordan says,
I mean, that'd be great actually, cause it'd be a real collab then with your character and shit.
we've already talked about this not being a collab, so when he brings up the word real, it does make me wonder if he said those words to the other actors. Can anyone ask to use their original OC? Is that an option? Does that mean these other videos are just not real collabs? Jordan, through the course of 2021, has created a structured work environment, even if he did accidentally. Regardless if payment had or hadn't been talked about, as that is hearsay, it is required to now. From an outsider's perspective, one can assume Jordan only calls these videos collabs to simply not pay the people. This was of course confirmed within that previous livestream. When these actors start to appear in nearly 50 videos, they aren't a guest anymore, they're a roommate. The promise of exposure and promotion is never a guaranteed success, and for him to use that as a way to get out of paying them is just repeating the mistakes of the past. While at the start of the channel, the line between friend and employee can be confusing, as he does have laughs in these VR videos, but when talking with these actors and seeing how Jordan reacts, it doesn't seem as if they know either. Jordan is a film college graduate with experience in actual sets detailed in his public linked Instagram, so I would have faith that he knows that no one should work for free. Also that he should make sure that those appear are properly credited. And the way in which he credits his actors is doing them no favors. At all. Talking with them, as it turned out, he asked them to create their own end credit thumbnails to promote themselves? Is that why they look so bad? Some of them don't even have visuals of their Twitter or YouTube, so how can he assume that people will follow them? Is this just a way of going,
Well, they made it. If no one follows them, I guess it's their fault.
Jordan actually tried experimenting with a newer video by having a mix of thumbnails and credits. But who are these people? Who the f do they play? Just make proper credits. The easiest way to do it is just to have their names, usernames, and just some nice icons on screen, so you know you're clicking the right profile. As when looking at these title cards, do I assume that they played all these characters in the video? Because some of them didn't show up, and the description doesn't really say who they play. Well, sometimes he does, but also sometimes he doesn't. I also can't stress this enough. If you're an actor for Jordan, make sure you're actually there. Blaze the Pwn shared DMs of Jordan, where he has to change the description of video where he played the character Husker. Checking the video he played, noting that this is before Jordan asked for end credit thumbnails, he's still improperly credited within the description. In the future, I'd suggest that the server should watch the videos before upload to make sure everything is good, to make sure that you're properly credited within the video, and to make sure the description has everything you need.
I still can't get over the fact that he had these guys making their own title cards for the end for credit. It's like telling a kid if he wants Christmas presents, he's gonna go out and buy some.
Speaking more onto that, when looking more towards the people that act in his videos, some of them don't even post in their channel. Besides the fact that he's calling it a collab with people who don't even technically have channels, they're essentially getting nothing from these hours upon hours of content for Jordan, apart from a laugh or two. Again, I must stress that the actors should ask him for payment for their hard work, especially from those who don't even post on their channels. Since this is VR chat, a lot of the actors have to stand with headsets on for hours on end, so for most of them, it is full body acting. Also, even if most of this is improv, a lot of the time producers will not pay you, as they will claim it's unscripted work. Understanding that Jordan had bought a house, recently went on vacation for a month, has major sponsors, and even is investing in crypto and NFTs, then he should be able to budget to pay you. I mean, I'd feel pretty bad if my boss bought like a $10,000 monkey JPEG instead of paying me for giving him millions of views. On that note, having people on payroll is also beneficial for the leader, as having a team of concrete people willing to participate is a lot better than trying to manage people who aren't required to work with you. Especially if you have a core team of people, that'd be their main job. So you have more time to work with them. But as an aside, as a weird PR move, December 6th on Twitter, Jordan tweets that he had to cut ties with people he used to record with, citing them as a toxic side for the community, further stating that jealousy and resentment is a formula for corruption. Is it toxic to ask for payment? And proper crediting? Noting that he says there are 3 sides to the story, their side, your side, and the truth, he will address any attempts made. Here's the truth. Jordan found actors willing to put up working for free. Some of them were minors. Which I would seriously just hire adults, as this is role-playing content, so doing that with minors is weird, even if nothing bad is actually happening. With that note, I can dive more into Jordan's reactions to this video being made. As I'm in contact with some former and current actors, I still receive updates within the server. Speaking with someone who wanted to remain anonymous, Jordan had sent a message December 10, 2021, which reads,
I'm sure you've heard Daftpina is making a drama video targeting me because of Arky and a few others who have grown to hate me. I'm gonna have to gather a lot of evidence to fight back on whatever points they intend on making, even though I'm pretty sure I know what it's gonna be about. If need be, can I come to you for a testimony?
They also had relayed that they received the same 72-hour message that Lucario and THYPER received, so assuming those were sent to everyone, it seems he is quite worried about this video's existence. Tweeting out the next day,
I've been made aware that some of the people I used to record with are actively banding together to try and cancel me. Toxic.
He then proceeds to quote tweet himself.
I'm also aware of a certain drama YouTuber being spoon-fed a one-sided story from these individuals to boost his view count? I'll be patiently waiting on this video and respond accordingly.
Besides the fact that this video's purpose is to not cancel, it's actually odd for him to try and twist the truth with the last tweet. I had set up a call with Jordan for Monday, December 6th at 1 PM Central Time to interview him for this video. He stated that he doesn't consent to being recorded, so it would have just been a private call. However, he decided to decline, which is fine, he has no obligation to call me. Though for him to claim that I'm being spoon-fed one side of the story, it is a Weasley way to get people on your side. Especially when he was the one that backed out of a call, thus throwing away any right that says I didn't try to get his side. 3 days later, he tweeted,
Does anyone know a good hashtag lawyer they'd recommend for content creators? Hey guys, any of your moms or dads a lawyer? Could you ask them if, or maybe they can afford one, please? Thanks.
While it's extremely funny he's asking his audience built upon minors if they know any lawyers, this isn't a good look. Besides the fact that he resides in Canada, meaning he'd have to find someone willing to take a case across the border to America, there just wouldn't be a case to begin with. I'm critiquing his content and channel, which falls under fair use, as not only am I using it in a transformative way, I'm also not accusing him of any heinous things. And for future reference, if he tries to strike down this video, then I will fight it, which would also not be a good look for him, as striking down critique videos about you, as well as possibly threatening me with a lawyer, does make him look pathetic. Interesting enough, as he had been kicking people from his actor server, he had set up auditions for his channel, as shown on his Twitter and community tab, noting this is called collaboration auditions, stating that there are 15 slots open.
Note, this is not a paid position. This is strictly for YouTube collaborations only. Requirements: be 16 and above. Must have a desire to grow their social media / YouTube channels. Note, you're not getting shit from this. Requirement: don't be 14. That didn't work out for me in the past.
Though prior to this post being released, there may have been a miscommunication whether or not he had talked with the actors about getting paid. It seems from here on out he intends to never pay them, past or present. This is the most obvious for exposure type of work that I've seen in a while, which is a big artist sin for him to commit. To ask for free labor and put it on them to promote themselves does reinforce the idea he calls these collaborations as to not pay anyone. Also, it's funny that he specifies 16 and above, which he'd still have to get the parents' permission for these acting videos, but also, why doesn't he want to work with people who are at least 18? Is that like an issue for him? A friend of mine actually had a theory regarding Jordan's behavior in regards to this video being made. While I say that Jordan has been doing well for his channel, I really do mean it. Checking Solidjj, as though it's not a good statistic for money, it is a pretty good one for views. And he had been getting quite good numbers during the summer of 2021. And here's where the hypothesis comes in. Noting his previous channel and how he had to move back into his parents' house, with his newfound success, he could be overspending. As I talked about before, he didn't buy an apartment, he bought a house, which is quite expensive. His investments in crypto might have also cost him quite the penny. Well, not a penny, as Canada doesn't have this anymore. So I guess it cost him a loony or toonie. But because he isn't reaching as many people as he did before, he could be low on cash. So when the actors mentioned that he did promise some sort of payment in calls, this could have been because of the massive influx of views at the start. So now he opts to avoid the conversation about payment and tries to push more towards the actors to promote themselves, hoping that he can continue to not pay them due to low funds. So when he hears that someone is talking to his actors about not getting paid, he gets into emotional distress at the possibility that he actually has to pay his workers. So he begins to try and kick those who ask for money, and tries to spin it to those who follow him that a big bad YouTuber's trying to cancel him. When in reality, I just want those who help make his channel what it is get their fair share. And for him to cite that he'll be making his own video response, and while I'm unsure if his audience would really care that much, the core of it rests upon the idea that his actors don't deserve to get paid, which really isn't a position I can see other YouTubers rallying for. While Jordan's content is inherently silly and nonsensical, it does bring joy to a lot of people. And with saying that, the behind the scenes work needs to be taken seriously so that his channel can continue to a brighter future. I just want him to properly budget for his actors, as he can only burn through so many volunteers you'll end up being alone with no one there wanting to work for you. But it seems the way he treats his actors is different compared to his editors and 3D modelers. For example, he makes sure that the editors and 3D modelers are paid, pointing to Twitter for him looking for paid editing positions for his channel, and the 3D modelers I spoke with noting that they were paid. But this is the note that most of the models he uses are just from VRChat for free, I guess, and none of the other models are really credited. So when you have the time, I would just get like commissioned models so you like own them, so you can just use them in videos. Plus commissioning the same person, you can just say models, all models made by this guy. Nice. Though I did find a curious case of a 3D modeler, Abyssal. On the note of language, seeing the interactions with him, Abyssal originally felt that he and Jordan were friends, though over time wanted to break things off as he noticed Jordan would only talk with him regarding business, always wanting something to be made. He did produce works for free, but in hindsight he notes that he did that for a friend. And it must be clear, Jordan did offer to pay him, though was turned down, so that's on Abyssal for not taking that offer. And I wish Jordan would have that same offering to the actors, as he does for his other workers. And with making this video, I don't want people to go after his sponsors, or even him as a creator, as I want his channel to continue. And I just want to encourage the actors to ask for the pay they deserve. They have worked hard to make Jordan's channel what it is today, and although he has thanked them many times, they should get paid. Yeah. You can only play as boyfriend and girlfriend so many times before you start to wonder if this is all you might be known for, and thinking what you might be missing out on, simply because you didn't ask for your fair share. So I encourage them to go talk with him, and if he insists on continuing to call these collabs, well, he should have no problem if all of them just leave. As with how he's acted thus far, it's clear to me they aren't part of his channel, and are only guests he's ready to replace for free. Just as Lucario and THYPER were kicked from the server, they were readily replaced, as if nothing happened. And seeing how well Jordan fared on his own with the video all by himself, I hope he starts to realize that he can't do this alone. Jordan has put himself into a position where his audience wants to see everyone, and not just him, play by himself. And with the video's release, I hope the air can be cleared to make sure that this is put to rest once and for all. Jordan has regained the popularity he once had with his new channel. But with this video, it's up to him if he can maintain the success with the way he carries his business. While I may not be the first in line to watch his videos, I want to make sure those who work on his are able to get paid and properly credited for the long hours they put into working with him. I hope that Jordan is willing to pay those who made his channel what it is today, or else he will not only have a channel that will once be dead again, he'd also have another group of people never wanting to associate with him ever again. While the workers can live without his channel, he cannot live without his workers. So it's all up to him with what he does next. And for this video, I'd like to thank jaubrey for being a part of it. We were actually able to meet recently IRL, and after talking about the video with him, thought this would be an interesting topic to bring our big brains together on, to cover. Please go check out his channel and subscribe to him if you liked the video. Thank you to my patrons who help support my channel, and you can see them on screen right now. And a thank you to Solidjj for voicing lines in the video. He always does a great job. Until next time, thank you for watching, and please, don't forget to have